I'm Layla.
And I'm Gabby.
Freedom of speech is defined as the ability to say whatever you want as long as you aren't violating the rights of others.
It's listed in the Bill of Rights under the First Amendment.
Symbolic speech is the nonverbal communication that conveys a message protected under the First Amendment.
However, sometimes it's hard to tell when freedom of speech protects you from something.
Two examples of this is Tinker versus Des Moines and Barber versus Dearborn Public Schools.
In the case of Tinker versus Des Moines, in December 1965, students in Des Moines held a meeting in the house of one of their students supporting a truce in the Vietnam War. They agreed to wear black armbands to show their support for the truce during the holidays and fast on December 16th and on New Year's Eve. The principal of the school heard about this and created a policy that students wearing an armband would have to remove it, and if they refused, they would be suspended. Mary Beth Tinker and Christopher Eckhart wore their armbands to school and were sent home. The students didn't return to school until after New Year's, which was when they planned to end the protest. The students and their parents sued the school district for violating their rights of expression or freedom of speech. The court ruled in favor of the school.
Dearborn, Michigan was wearing a shirt of President Bush that said he was an international terrorist to school. The federal judge ruled that the teenager must be allowed to wear the t-shirt to school. The American Civil Liberties Union of Michigan filed a lawsuit in federal court in 2003 for violating his freedom of speech in the First Amendment. The court said that students don't give up their freedom of speech at school. He also said there was no evidence of the shirt being a problem at school. Braden Barber, a senior at Dearborn High, wore the shirt to express his concerns on President Bush's policy on the political war in Iraq. The court ruled in favor of Braden Barber.
The reason that it's hard to see when something violates our freedom of speech is because while we don't want to offend those around us, we should be able to speak our opinions.
This is clearly seen in these two cases, even though they were both speaking their opinions and went to court and they ruled differently both times. This shows that freedom of speech on the Constitution is often left up to interpretation.
Because it was written so long ago, it's hard for us to apply it to circumstances like these. It can be confusing to know what our founding fathers meant by freedom of speech on occasions like this.
Although it's hard to tell when it's being violated, freedom of speech is a very important part of the Bill of Rights. It allows us to be able to express ourselves freely.
Thank you for listening.